Let's go. Welcome, Sue.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, please tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Sue, and I'm a musician. I currently live in Pittsburgh, and I sing and play organ in Sweat. And
Yes.
yeah, you're wearing the shirt.
Yes,
Looks
thank
so good on
you.
you.
Thank you for the shirt. Oh, thanks. It's a good crop top. I can't really show it off while I'm sitting down, but um
And this is
yeah.
Lily. You might see her butthole, or something like other body parts you might not want to see. I apologize in advance. But she decided to be part of this. I mean, she's a lady too, so
Yeah, she's welcome. Actually, Pongo's the invader because well, at least he's a convenient bird. So
good one.
yeah. So please tell us a little bit about when you first realized that you love rock music, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about when you learned that you love rock organ, and
Yeah.
that like when you wanted to create more of that.
Um, I think it was pretty early on for me that I knew that I loved rock music because my dad's a musician and he would play guitar at home all day, every day. He was pretty serious about it, like, pursuing it as a career. And he would constantly have his like musician buddies over for practice, and he would take us to shows past our curfew. And so I got like a glimpse into this like
Mm,
world a little bit, and I just loved it. I thought that his musician friends were the coolest people on earth. um, and I just always knew I wanted to have like more than one way to express myself, or more ways than the ways I knew from some other people I knew around.
mhm.
I wanted to be able to do that as well. So I got into my parents' record collection, and I listened to everything. And I started to take piano lessons when I was about 6 or so, but that was classical music, which, I'm really happy you know, got acquainted with. It helps me writing songs to this day. But then later on, when I actually like started to play in bands, since I cannot play guitar, I was like, okay, if I want to sound like Deep Purple or Uriah Heep, I should play organ.
Mhm.
And it's not the same as piano. Like there's a lot of differences, and I'm still like, you know, um transitioning in some ways. But yeah, I've learned a lot in the past like 5 years, especially since I've been in Sweat.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love a good rock organ. And
Yes.
Kayla was saying that you guys are going to release a cover of Locomotive Breath by Jethro Tull in the future.
It's Back to the Family.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the song Back to the Family.
Mm,
Yeah,
I,
and we
oh,
put a
okay.
lot of organ in there.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so actually, I kind of messed that up. Kayla didn't tell me what song it was. So that was an announcement, everyone. Exciting news.
Ah,
And
whatever.
yeah, it's not like the song leaked, but also Jethro Tull. So less flute, more organ, right?
Yes, we kind of replaced some of the flute parts with organ.
That I'm so excited for that personally. So
Yeah,
my
me too. I can't wait.
yay. My dad was also a musician. He was a pipe organist. And
Oh man,
so
that's divine.
yeah, and like I got my Jethro Tull vinyl from my mom. So I don't know. And Jupiter also has organ in it. So I'm into it. I love rock organ.
Yeah, me too. It's really like it's to me it has something truly like otherworldly about it.
Yeah.
It's just divine. I love it.
Yeah, it is divine. That's a great word for
Hmm.
it. It's got
Yeah.
like an ethereal aspect.
Yes.
Like rock and roll has these gospel roots and a, a mix of other roots. And I think like that maybe for me, that's why organ and rock and roll just make so much sense together. But if you could collect any three vinyl records in history, which would you like to have?
I mean, it's a pretty hard question because for me, it's like probably depends on the day you ask me that, or the week, or the mood. But I would probably say um, definitely Look at Yourself by Uriah Heep,
Okay.
all-time favorite records. Um, then I want to say Different Light by the Bangles.
Okay.
I listened that album to death when I was a
That is
girl.
so
I
interesting.
thought those ladies were just the coolest women I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. Okay. So some really like you're very influenced by like new wave then. That's a surprise.
A lot of power pop, yes, and
Oh,
new
wow.
wave, yes, absolutely. My parents listened to a lot of that when I was a girl. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Bangles is pure new wave power pop and yeah, so
Yeah, and they have great songs though. And
oh, totally.
for me, the most important thing, what I listen for when I hear a band is like the composition, the songwriting,
Hmm.
and they have some fabulous pop songs. So I really enjoy the Bangles. And then the third one would be Scorpions. Blackout.
Okay,
Blackout by the
wow.
Scorpions.
What a
Yes.
trio. What a trio. Okay, like
Yeah.
obviously Uriah Heep is amazing. My record collection is mostly music with female members in the bands, but I have four records that don't follow that rule, and one of those four is a Uriah Heep album. And then
Great organ playing. So there you go with the organ. Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And then the surprise of the power pop with the Bangles, but then like Scorpions once again, all those heavy metal wails, very gospel. You know that you that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's where the Scorpions get it. So that's such an interesting combo. And then I know Kayla was saying that your future album is going to be a little more power pop oriented.
We might have we might have like one or two songs that are going in that direction a little bit more. But
Mhm.
I think we have a lot of progressive rock on
Oh,
that
cool.
in like among our new songs actually. So it's gonna get quite proggy,
Oh
which
my
for
God.
me, listening to a lot of organ rock and a lot of like UK 70s progressive rock,
Mhm.
that's just my jam, you know.
I'm so excited for this because I love the last Sweat album, but everything you're telling me about the next one is thrilling. I love UK uh like prog as well. Do
Mhm.
you have any favorites for that group?
Hmm. Man, that's hard. Well, I really love maybe Atomic Rooster.
Oh, okay. That is not one that I have even heard.
You've never heard of Atomic? You have to check them out.
I'm writing it down right now. I'm getting my pen. Sonic Rooster.
Um, Atomic Rooster. What else? Beggar's Opera is a favorite of mine.
Hmm.
And then they're not British, they're Dutch, but you should check out Golden Earring if you don't know Golden
Oh,
Earring.
okay. I know Golden Earring, but I have never done a close listen. For me, not that anyone asked, but since I can nerd out with someone about rock organ and like prog
Yeah,
rock from the 70s, I'm excited to. So it's
right
like
away.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
everything Rick Wakeman made,
Mm-hmm.
but especially his collaborations with Shaka Khan. Have you
Yes.
heard those? Like
Yes.
Robot Man, I can't stop listening to Robot Man. And so it's just like funky, it's so good. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, and then Jethro Tull, I don't know, go
Obviously.
on. We're, we don't have to be encyclopedic.
King Crimson, you
That
know.
was literally the next one I was gonna say.
Yeah,
So
obviously. Yeah.
yeah. So well, I don't know. Like I'm thrilled. I can't wait.
Or there's so many, man. Gentle Giant. Do you know
Yeah,
Gentle
yeah.
Giant? I love Gentle Giant.
Gentle Giant is freaky. Gentle Giant is like scary prog rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like satanic prog rock.
A
It's not
little
even
bit.
satanic in theme. It's just something about the sound. It's very dark.
A little bit, yeah. A little
Yeah.
bit haunted house
Yeah, it's kind of
once in
ominous.
a while, yeah. Nectar is great with a K. Oh, there's so many. I made a prog rock favorites playlist on Spotify. I can send you the link.
Do I'll put it in the show
Yeah.
notes and then everybody can become as excited about prog rock as we are. So, if you could play a tour with any three bands, dead or alive, who would you choose?
I think I'm gonna go with bands that are around and
Mm-hmm.
somewhat attainable for us because I'm a big dreamer and I really, really, really would love to um tour Europe, go out for like a whole month or longer. That's my big dream with Sweat right now.
It's
So
gonna
I want to
happen.
say I
Gonna happen. It's just
so
gonna happen.
okay, you're manifesting it. Thank you. Um I really like obviously Ruby the Hatchet. We went out with them for like a 4 day run, but I would love to go out with them, for a longer period of time or go out west with them because believe it or not, I've never been west. Never
Okay.
been never been to that coast.
Mhm.
Never. And I really want to and playing there would be great or playing back home would be even better. Like a home game for me.
Yeah.
Back in Switzerland. So yes, Ruby the Hatchet would like to go out with them anytime again. There's this really cool band. They kind of play power pop and glam. They're called Josephine Network from New York. They are fabulous.
Hmm.
You should check them out. I would love to go out with them. And then they are a little bit more famous, but I would also love to tour with the Lemon Twigs.
Okay, that's another one I don't know. Lemon
It's
Twig.
like again, it's power pop, but they are really, really they really sound like a um 70s, late 70s power pop band. Their songwriting is blowing me away. It's these two really young brothers. They they release album after album and
Hmm.
they're just musical geniuses. So that would be the ultimate that would be the ultimate tour support for us to support them. Yeah.
No, no, they're
Because
supporting.
I think we fit on what's great about Sweat is we're a rock band and yes, we have a lot of like progressive rock elements.
Hmm.
But we can fit on a power pop or glam bill, that's no
Hmm.
problem.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
because our
definitely.
songs are very melodic, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, and going back to your training with classical piano, and maybe it has a lot to do with the kind of prog rock that you are listening to. My Side of the Mountain, that particular track, has one of the most inventive changes, like mid. actually multiple times in the song. It is such an interesting song. It's so infrequent to find anybody write something like that
Hmm.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's like a Heart vibe. It's kind of like Heart's musical
Yeah.
changes, like a whole time change, totally different melody. Super cool. Um,
Yeah, that was a collaboration. Um, we all of us contributed some ideas, and then sometimes a song like that gets born, out of like the combination of our collective,
yeah.
brains.
Oh,
It's
that
great.
is
Yeah.
so cool. That's like the like mark of a band, like when you become like inseparable because like that kind of
Yeah.
magic is happening and then
Yeah.
like you can't lose anyone. Um, okay, so looking back, what was a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
That's it. That's actually an easy one for me. That's definitely moving to the United States. Yeah.
How long have you lived here?
Um, about 6 years.
Okay, so pretty cozy now.
Yeah, it's come home.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
What made you move?
Well, my husband, he's a musician too. I met him when he was on tour in Europe with his band.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, we had a long distance relationship for a while. And then we decided that we want to live in the same country. So we got
Mm-hmm.
married, and I got the green card and I came here.
Mm-hmm.
And although I miss a lot of aspects of Switzerland, I obviously miss my friends and family at home a lot. But when it comes to music, I don't regret coming here for a split second.
Mm.
I found exactly what I had been looking for. I found the musicians that most understand me and complete me and, you know, challenge me in the right ways. And it's been, yeah, it's been amazing for me to make music with the people here.
That is so great. The most frequent answer to that question from the rock goddesses is moving and marriage. And so you fit right in.
Yeah.
That just must be the correct answer at this point. So,
Yeah. Aim
um,
for love, stay for the music. No, I'm just kidding. We're still married.
anyway, so what is your favorite piece of gear or stageware that you own?
Um, well, I very frequently wear my vests because they're kind of like they almost feel like this protective layer for me. I just feel I don't know, that's kind of like my my battle outfit,
Mhm. Yeah, battle vest.
battle vest. It's not really a battle vest, but like yeah, the vest just makes me feel um strong and protected.
Hmm.
Yeah, it makes me feel um confident and
Interesting.
strong. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. But I actually have one other thing that's not really it's not really a piece of clothing or gear. But our bass player Dan gave me this tiny little glass frog for good luck, like a while back, because me and him we have this shared love for frogs. And I thought that was the cutest thing ever. And I ever since I have not played a single show without that little frog in my pocket, or
Aw.
I have not done a single practice without the frog sitting on my organ.
Oh my gosh.
So thanks,
Okay.
Dan.
So I feel like everyone that comes to the sweat shows should be bringing small glass frogs as
Bring
tidings
your
for the
frog.
goddess. Yeah.
Yes. Bring
Frog
your frogs.
charms, frog rings, frogs, wear
Yeah,
a frog outfit, pet frog in a little container. Maybe not the pet frog, but
maybe
okay,
not.
maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
had a friend in elementary school that like brought a tiny little frog home from like our it was like a I don't know what we did. We went to like the forest for educational like reasons to look at like frogs and trees and whatnot. It's been a long time. And she had this little like mint um container or whatever, and she
Mhm.
put a frog in there and took it home in her backpack. And I remember I went to her house like a couple of years later, and she said, I have to show you something. And she shows me this all dried up little frog in that mint container. And I was like, what did you do? And she was like, after we got home, I forgot I had it. Just, just stuck
Oh
it in there.
no, that's so sad. I thought it was gonna be like the frog grew and it was big.
No, yeah, no, she killed the frog. She totally killed the frog.
We don't want dead frogs, everybody, just frog charms. So, all right. So if you could play any festival, which would be your top choice?
I think my top choice would be a festival in Switzerland for sure. I would love to take Sweat um, to my home country and like show the people back home what I've created.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
what we have created, because I'm really proud of it. That there's some really cool pop and rock festivals like Gluten Festival in Bern or Open Air St. Gallen in St. Gallen. I would love to play one of those. They're like in a like it's really scenic, like on a mountain.
I I went to Zurich once, and when I was going to Young and Proud, there was like a big stage in the mountains that I saw, and I thought, now that's acoustics.
Yeah, those are just amazing.
Yeah, okay, well that does
Yeah.
a great place to play. Okay, sorry, my parrot's gonna poop on me, I think, so hold
How
him.
can you tell he's about to poop?
I've
Can
had him
you
for
tell?
15 years. I just kind of know at this
There's
point.
there's signs. There are
Yeah, he
signs.
just sort of wiggles a little.
Does he not know to not poop on you when you're
I
in an interview? I mean, excuse you.
he is like kind of potty trained. Like if I put him on a toilet and I say, then he will do so. But if I
Like
like,
the human toilet?
yeah, I can sit him down on it.
Get out. I have to try this with my cats, but I don't think they're not smart enough to learn.
Yeah, he's like, okay, side story about the parrot. So there's these little like pet watching devices that will shoot a treat out. Okay, so I got
Yeah,
one to watch my parrot, and it's connected to an app on your phone so you can like see what your pet is doing if they're making a lot of noise. So my parrot
yeah,
scream, and then I would be like, Pongo, what are you doing? And then I'd shoot a treat at him. And then he immediately learned that he could scream for a treat and he could basically call me to get a treat.
yeah,
So he's too smart.
yeah. He's probably smarter than my cats. I'm pretty sure about that already.
Okay, so do you have any new announcements for us?
Let's see. Well, we kind of already went over that a little bit. We're working on our second album. We're going to go to the studio in early fall to record.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about that. And what else? We have not been on stage for a few months because we've been writing a lot. And I guess an announcement would be that we're going to be back on stage on May 11th
Oh.
for, yeah, that's going to be a pretty big show. It's an album release show of another Pittsburgh band called Cajon Concept.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's going to be a big one. And we're also going to play the famous mattress factory garden party that's kind of like a museum, and they have a huge garden party once a year. It's a very big event, and that's going to be on June 7th. So yeah, those are two gigs I'm looking forward to a lot.
Ooh, June 7th. Oh, I gotta like pay attention to when that is. I feel like I'm overdue for a Pittsburgh trip. Do you know Deb and oh okay. Do you know Deb and Lady Beast?
Absolutely, she's a good friend.
Yeah, she's like invited me to stay at her house and visit Pittsburgh and catch a show
Man, she
time.
has a bird too.
I know.
She has a pigeon called Mauve.
We've been talking all about it
So there you go.
during the bird training tips and everything. Yeah. So, oh, which also means her house is probably bird friendly, so I can bring Pongo. But I'll have to ask her. Anyway, I feel like I'm overdue for a trip to Pittsburgh. So since I'm in Philly, play.
Let me know when you come here so we can hang out.
For sure. Okay, and then last question, where can we listen to your music and how can we follow what you do?
You can listen on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc., etc. Um, you can listen to the vinyl. Just hit us up if you want one. I mean, you have one, but whoever may listen to this,
Hmm.
it's probably better on vinyl, in my humble opinion. And I think follow us probably best on Instagram. We're probably most active on Instagram.
Hmm.
I just think that app is pretty convenient for
Yeah.
bands. You know, you
Yeah.
will have all the latest news and all the links to, all the music and videos and whatnot. So
Perfect. Yes, Instagram's my favorite app. Well,
yeah,
it's
mine too.
well, but I don't know. I'm not really great with Facebook. I'll leave it to other people. So,
Yeah, Facebook. I've gotten over Facebook a little bit. It's gotten like really kind of like user unfriendly.
yeah, it had too
I
much
think it's pretty
problems.
annoying. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like everything's in a different folder or something.
exactly. Yeah.
So now it's time for our vinyl game. I'm gonna hold up two pieces of vinyl, and you will pick between one and tell us why you picked it.
Okay.
Fairport Convention or Grace Slick?
Gray Slick.
Okay, and why?
I mean, I'm obsessed with Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship, so that was a really easy one for me. I mean, I love Fairport Convention.
Hmm.
It's a very, it's I guess it depends on my mood, but Gray Slick definitely that lady has balls. I really love her.
She does. They tried to induct her to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she said no. Or perhaps they inducted the whole band, and she just didn't go to the ceremony.
She's such a badass.
I know she really doesn't care. So she has this thing where she said like you can't be a certain age on Sugar Mountain, like you have to give up music at a certain age. And like that's not true, but she did give it up and she became a painter. And I was very curious about what Grace Slick's paintings looked like. They're awful.
She said you have to give up music at a certain age.
Did
Why did she say that?
she just thought that you shouldn't be old on a stage. I don't know. Grace Slick, she's had a couple of very questionable moments in the past, but
If you're an artist of that caliber, you probably I don't know, you probably have some screws loose.
yeah, she
That's
definitely
just part of the
does.
game.
No, she's done some crazy, crazy stuff that's like not really even okay. Like there's cool, crazy stuff. Like she did topless performance in New York. It was just like hot and she just took off her shirt. She didn't want to wear a shirt. Like that's kind of fun, but there's like other stuff she's done that's like ugh. So,
Yeah, I mean, I for the most part, I think it's important to separate the music from the musician, or it's necessary in a lot of cases because I still want to enjoy the music,
mhm.
even if I may know, all the terrible things like for example, Led Zeppelin have done back in the days, how they treated their groupies, etc. I
Oh,
mean, it's there's a lot of really there's a lot of very questionable stories in there, and worldviews and statements. But Grace Slick has made some of the best rock and pop music, um, you know,
yeah, totally.
the past like 60 years. So
Hmm. Yeah. So
I
the
I just
Rolling.
love the music.
Oh, totally. Yeah, me too. I mean, I know she's been a little bit naughty on some topics, but she definitely is a great musician, and hopefully she just regrets those crazy things she did. But the Rolling Stones made a list of the top 100 rock and roll songs, and they only included like they didn't include a lot of women, but they did include both of the songs that Grace Slick was famous for writing for Jefferson Airplane, and that's Somebody to
Yeah.
Love and White Rabbit. So yeah, I mean, I we when we hang out in Pittsburgh, we will talk some more because I would love to continue to talk about Grace Slick, but we're gonna keep
Yes.
going. Cher or Patti LaBelle.
Share.
Okay, why Cher?
Um, I don't know. I have to admit I love her mainly as an actress.
Okay.
Is that terrible?
No, because I have a couple of like actresses vinyl, like can't think of everybody right now, but no, I mean that's totally fine. Dolly Parton, another actress, singer. There's just a couple people that out there that are
Yeah.
multi-talented. Yeah. Um, Cher and Grace Slick are in the same boat anyway.
Yeah, and I love her elegance.
She does have
She's
elegance.
very like mysterious. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
and she seems very down to earth, actually.
Yeah.
So, Kate Bush or Patti Smith.
Oh God, what are you doing to me? This is the hardest one so far. Patti Smith.
Patti Smith. Okay. Do you have a favorite Patti Smith song by any chance?
Probably Frederick.
Okay.
I love that song.
Um,
Is it
and
actually on Wave?
it's on this album. Yeah, it's the first
Yes.
track. Yeah, and I mean I only know that because I just looked at it. But my favorite Patti Smith song is also on this album, and it's Citizenship.
Oh yeah, good one.
Yeah, I just think it's very
Yeah.
clever.
She's just yeah, Patti Smith is just an artist through and through and through. She's a poet.
Hmm.
She's a very, very, very wise woman. Um, with with a lot of um just very valuable life advice. If
Hmm.
you listen to her interviews, I mean, you learn. You listen to an interview that she does, you learn as much as you learn in 20 years of living life.
Oh
Sometimes
my
I feel
God.
like
I
she's
would have to
yeah.
check it out. I wonder how she got so wise. I think she's very
Feel like
interesting.
she's just a thinker. She's a philosopher. She's a poet. She's a philosopher. She just thought a lot about a lot of things, I think, you know.
Yeah. That's super interesting. I'll definitely check out some of her interviews. I don't know how I missed any of them, but she she's interesting to me, particularly because she was a contemporary to Debbie Harry, and they somehow both were like in the punk scene in New York at the same time, and they
Yeah.
were on the covers of the same zines even. And I don't think for me, there's nothing about their personalities or their music that seems similar. And so I think it's interesting that they were fellows. So I'll definitely check out
Yeah.
her interviews. Okay, here's another hard one. Stevie Nicks or Joni Mitchell?
Hmm. Stevie Nicks.
Okay, why Stevie Nicks?
I am just gonna go for the rock and roll, you know.
No.
It's just more my cup of tea,
Okay.
Stevie Nicks music, you know.
I mean, like, yeah. I'll have to. I gotta. I gotta like control how much detail I get into because I feel like this is like a, all of these are starting interesting conversations. All right, then this
Although,
one.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of folk elements, obviously, in Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So okay, and then this is the last one, and this one I went with two contemporary artists. So Lizzo or Adele.
Oh, they're both really good. I'll go with Lizzo.
Oops, did I get it right?
Her songs are very, very, very refreshingly different.
Yeah.
The topics she sings about, just like, you know, cheekiness without having to be super vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
Her songs are smart and witty and fun. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Lizzo. What do
Yeah.
you think?
So hers, I do think her songs are very fun. I
Yeah.
I heard her music first at the end of the movie that I think was called Road Trip or Girls Trip, and it was Goldie Hawn and another comedian who I can't think of now. And she
Was
was
it Jamie Lee Curtis?
no, it's like
No,
actually not even
no, it was I know were like groupies back in the day. Oh,
no,
that's
it's
a
a
different
newer
one.
movie. It's like a daughter and her mother go on a trip together and they get into all kinds of like funny trouble and then they come out like more bonded and it was a it was like a very 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 funny movie and the closing song was a Lizzo song and I was like who is this artist? They're gonna be humongous and it was like right before she blew up and yeah and then she
Yeah,
was like the next week she was just everywhere so I like Lizzo's music because it generally stays pretty positive and I really appreciate that.
exactly. Yes.
And
That's yes. I
then
think that's exactly what it is. Her message is so uplifting.
it is uplifting. It's kind of
Other
like
women, yeah, that's so refreshing.
it's
There's
almost like thematically like spirituals
yeah,
where they're like oriented at picking you up. Like her music is oriented at making you feel better when you listen to it. And then for
yeah,
Adele, I do think Adele is the great mistress of chord progressions. Like she knows how to make a chorus stick. So,
yeah,
um, what's interesting about this particular Adele album is that I guess the record company that she works with understood that vinyl was trending again. So they ordered a huge number of copies, like hundreds of thousands, to be made of this. And in order to produce so many by the release date to go into like every, American Apparel and all the kinds of stores that have like some vinyl, they had to employ even the smallest vinyl pressing companies. And so every band that like ordered after Adele's album was like their vinyl was pushed back by months and it affected even the smallest bands. Like, I don't know, a friend of mine in Canada was the one who actually told me about it that the album that the band was releasing was delayed due to the Adele album.
wow,
Yeah, super weird.
crazy.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
think
we cannot like smaller bands like us. We cannot compete with numbers like that, obviously.
yeah.
But
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe that was too many. I wonder if she sold them all. I don't know.
probably,
Yeah. Well, it was so fun to talk to you and meet you, Kitty.
yeah.
And I am
Same.
I have so much new stuff to check out now, thanks to you. Lemon Twigs, Atomic Rooster, interviews with Patty Smith. Um, yeah, so keep in
Yeah,
touch.
I'll send you some links.
Thank you. Yeah, do send me your playlist and keep in touch. And if there's
Absolutely.
anything else that you want to announce, like if you guys are about to go on a big tour or anything, please let me know and come back
I
on the
will.
show.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.